This is Eyewitness Report on Channels Television, where those pictures and videos you send to our portal take center stage weekly. So keep them coming. On the show today, residents of Banana Island say our access road not for the general public as proposed Apple Island beckons. Cross River State Government interest groups joined forces against money wives, money marriage. Chevy View Estate residents in Lagos want their communal efforts complemented by the relevant authorities. Join us for details. I am Chris Elems. Residents of Chevy View Estate in Lekki say their efforts at providing infrastructure to deflood and also light up their locality could be pointless without due support from the relevant authority. The estate chairman said at the moment they have a running battle with a co-electricity distribution company over some transformers they have refused to energize. Join us for details. Chevy View Estate in the Lekki area of Lagos is one example of what communal efforts can result in. With barely any support from the government, the residents have had to dig deep into their pockets to fund infrastructure development such as roads, power support systems, and currently a canal that could save the estate from flooding. This video shows what the people faced pre-2017, which necessitated this huge project that will see flooding put off the estate. Over the years, a part of the estate has been severely flooded, with water levels of up to 30 inches, resulting in damage to property and other infrastructure. A resident of the estate takes us through the many challenges of Chevy View Estate and efforts being made to address them on their own.
Since 2014, ever since I came into the estate, we've always been having these annual drainage problems. And it got to the point where residents had to keep agitating, writing to the government, trying to tell the government even to partner with the government. And if you look at this document right in front of me, where we actually, it was dated September 2016, we tried to appeal to the government to come to our rescue. And also highlighting a lot of the projects we've done to try to, we want to be partners. But it's gotten to the point where properties, houses, getting drenched, and it was just unbearable. So these made the good people of this street come together first, in our usual practice, to see how they can solve the problem. And the rest of the estate also came in to collaborate, and that's became an estate project. And that's why we are right here to expand it and make sure we can alleviate our problem.
To date, we've been able to provide our own security by way of employing private security companies to man our gates and patrol the environment. We also get support from the police at the Lassa police station. They are very friendly. They come to patrol at times in our estate. But we need much more than that from the government. For instance, in this estate, we are prone to flooding, and that's because the water that comes from the main Lekki Road, Lekki Road, the water comes into this estate and does not channel out because the canal was abandoned at some point and has not been done. Now, as an estate, under my own watch as the chairman of the estate, we have started construction of the canal to link it to where there is a canal. And that's taking us a whopping sum of 64 million naira. And that work is ongoing right now. We can also take you around to see this project. We're also doing some additional road networks in this estate, from piling of sand to stone interlocking lane to making paved roads and make it a habitable environment for ourselves, our children, and our loved ones.
Another issue of concern to them is power supply and distribution, which has been greatly hampered by the limited number of transformers they have. In a bid to deal with this challenge, they have provided a number of transformers, the latest of which was procured on the 11th of December 2017. However, according to the estate chairman, getting a electricity distribution company to energize it has been a tug of war.
But as customary with EKEDC, when you buy transformer, they will give you a note to write that you are donating it to EKEDC. And we don't have problem doing that. We have been doing that. However, in recent time, we bought some transformers because of the overload on the ones we have currently. And the kind of amount that they're asking us to bring to install them is too much. Where we'll be told to provide as much as 3 million naira to install a 300 kVA transformer, brand new. And all the infrastructure is in place. We'll have the armored cables, we'll have the poles, everything is in place. Is a bit worrying. So for we just said no. We'll pay EKEDC regularly because we have prepaid meters. And we see no reason why we should be paying for EKEDC to install transformers that we bought, since they claimed, because I've written them severally, to come and bring additional transformers to alleviate the ones that we have on ground. But they said they don't have any. So we contributed on our own to buy and bring. Now it's on ground, come and install. They are sending their proxies in the name of contractors to come and collect as much as 3 million from us. That cannot fly. And that's why we say we will not do it. We are ready to talk to the EKEDC CEO himself. We'd like to meet him one-on-one and ask if this is a normal business structure that is running. This cannot fly.
Armed with this information, we visited the headquarters of Eco Electricity Distribution Company, where the General Manager, Corporate Communications, dismissed the claim that they were nonchalant about the plight of the people.
We have zero tolerance for things like that, because if maybe a community or an estate is asking for transformer or they want us to energize them, it's a very simple process that we go through. All you need to do is you apply. Then we'll now send our team of engineers to go and inspect. Once we certify that it's okay, then we'll start the process. So we do not, I repeat, we do not ask for any form of payment.
He also says they would visit the estate to inspect what's on ground in order to determine their next move.
When you say a transformer has been donated, is it just the transformer alone that makes up the supply equipment that will make electricity to get to your homes? No, because if, let's assume you have a 500 kVA transformer now, definitely by the side you should have what we call a feeder pillar unit. If a transformer is donated and there's no feeder pillar unit, what do we do? Because one, in our company we plan. We have the O&M department, we have the technical department. All these things, whenever we want to meter or sending a transformer to a particular community, all those things are in our budget. Yes, it's true that they have actually, just about a week ago, they have actually applied, informing us that they have some transformers in place and they want us to come and see how best we can energize them. The application was just dropped about a week ago, like I said, and then we are working through the process whereby the engineers will be sent in there for inspection.
Currently, the issue of inadequate supply of prepaid meter has continued to generate a lot of heat as consumers across all networks feel cheated through the estimated billing methods being applied to determine power consumption. According to the Chief Finance Officer of EKEDC, there are several layers of challenges they are currently battling with, which has made the business of electricity distribution disturbingly shocking.
Well, in terms of distribution, we cannot really say we are there at the moment because there are challenges. You can't just arrive there without being well equipped to do what you're expected to do, because as it stands right now, you're talking about dilapidated equipment, Okay, you're also talking about regulatory challenges. So, I mean, all that impact on the ability to deliver what we're meant to deliver as distribution companies.
He faults the term overbilling being used by consumers, claiming they give out what they get.
I bill based on what I receive. We don't bill, okay, beyond the energy we receive. Okay, so I'm not even able to bill up to what I receive. There are still some gaps in terms of losses. So when we do hear, oh, crazy billing and all that stuff, it's quite disturbing. Now, you take, for example, someone who is staying in a one-bedroom apartment. It is not the size of your apartment that determines the bill you pay. It is the energy you consume. Someone who is in the place and is using a 2-horsepower AC, okay, is in one bedroom, using a 2-horsepower AC, and someone is in the duplex, is not using an AC at all, you should expect that the one in a one-bedroom apartment or whatever should consume more.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for those in need of prepaid meters?
In the MITO model for capital expenditure, how much am I allowed to incur? I will tell you what is even factored in, okay, is almost equal to the amount that is needed to provide meter for the industry. Okay, so it's on its own, there's already a deficiency. So by the rule, MITO rule, which I'm meant to keep to, it's difficult to achieve that. Then number two, the cost of the meter itself is so high that I can't even fund it. We can't generate enough money to be able to put into the metering. But again, arrival point, we now have the meter asset provider regulation, whereby individuals can go ahead and buy their meters. Okay? If you need a meter, once the meter asset providers, everything has been concluded regarding their taking off and they are good to go, the meter is available. Anybody who needs the meter, go buy, we install it for you. If you don't have money to buy, because that will be the next thing people will begin to ask, the regulation also provided that in 10 years, you can buy a meter and spread the cost over 10 years, okay? And we'll recover it over that period of time, which will make it easier for a whole lot of people too.
The Chevy View experience is more of a reflection of what obtains today in most localities, and the people are getting agitated by the day. Whatever intervention is required to solve the issue of power distribution and exorbitant billing must be expeditedly engaged by the relevant authorities to keep the people's faith kicking.